Right, let's see if I can actually do this video. It's been quite a while since I've made a video and I've been forever trying to get going on this one. So today we're actually going to make a joypad for something that looks like, we're going to make a pretend one of these. So this is a fake Sega Master System, not Master System, Megadrive or Genesis game controller thing. I don't have a real one easily accessible at the moment, but I also don't have a real Megadrive easily accessible at the moment. But here's a clone of one, and this appears to use the same kind of joystick controllers, joypad controllers, whatever they're called. And so we're going to try and get it to work with this thing here. So we're not going to do the 6-button one, we're going to make a 3-button one. So I've got a whole pile of buttons. It's going to have too much trouble getting that to line up properly. I'll just get some cables out and get ready for that. So here is the kind of plug that goes into here. So, and it's all set up, so I've sort of going to wire everything up into here, and all the little buttons are going to go through to here. So I don't know how long this is going to take. It's probably going to take more than one video. And you need to have a 74hc157. So the last videos were about trying to build one. So this is a picture. This is the TTL cookbook. And this is a picture of that IC. So if you don't know how this works, I just did a whole bunch of videos about trying to make one of these, but I have some and they came in the mail, so I've actually got a proper one. I don't know where that silly little tool thing to squash the legs is gone. Everything's a mess on this desk, so this is getting worse and worse. Oh wait, it's right there, okay. With random plastic bags. If you're wondering what this little contraption is, it's just to reverse the polarity. So the interesting thing here is they've gone with imitating the traditional polarity, I think, of Sega power supplies, to have the negative on the inside pin and have positive on the outside, as opposed to what seems to have become the standard, and especially for these kind of things, of having positive on the inside. So I made this to swap the polarities around. So we are going to try and use it running it from 9-volt battery. So you can't do that with a real Megadrive. So I don't think you can. I've never tried, of course. Right. So there you go. In fact, I think that was they're rated for 10 volts. The original ones, aren't they? They're supposed to have 10 volts. But I do know this thing works fine off 9 volts, so we'll be fine. A 9-volt battery. So this is my 74hc157. So how's it going to be wired up? Well, I drew a picture. So these are what the pins mean. I'm going to assume that the pins that are marked in here, so they're not actually marked in numbers, are they? Oh, well, this is rotten, isn't it? Oh no, it is. You can just make it out. That's 6, and so that one is 951. So 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So hopefully they match up with these numbers here. They did last time. The good thing about this is that we're not going to have any power coming off this. All the power is going to be supplied by this. So hopefully the chances of me blowing this thing up are quite slim. But you never know. So here we go. These are what the pins are all for. So this is kind of like the Commodore 64 style or Atari style pin adapter thing. So we've got up and down are in pin 1 and 2. So this should be worked the same way. I'm assuming it does. Is that, oh, I was supposed to get some diodes. Well, we just have to do without the diodes. There was a reason for that. I don't know if I have any diodes sitting around. I should have some somewhere. We'll have to come back for that. It should work fine without diodes on a Megadrive. I will describe why I think that we need diodes later on. But we've got up and down are in pin 1 and 2, and that doesn't matter. It's always that way. We've got 3 and 4 have left and right, but they also have, so I'm going to talk about this in a second. So one important difference is pin 5 has plus 5 volts supplied by this thing, and that's what's going to be powering up the 74hc157. Pin 6 has button A and button B on it. Pin 8 is the ground going into the circuit here. So this is coming from the IC. I mean, I guess that's what you're supplying. So the ones with the star are essentially things supplied by this, and you can imagine that the rest are the things supplied by the actual controller. And the last one, pin 9, is the start or button C. And so what matters, what determines these things, is what the value is of select. So when select is 0 or low voltage, then you're basically going to be reading up, down on 1 and 2, ground on 3 and 4, button A on pin 6, and start on pin 9. But if select was 1 or high, you're going to be reading left and right on pin 3 and 4, you're going to be reading button B on pin 6, and you're going to be reading button C on pin 9. So where did I put this? So that gives you most of the buttons, not these top ones here. So these ones are slightly tricky, and that will require a different video series. Basically, if you reread these within a short time period, I think this is how it works, you can read the different ones. So it's kind of hacked in so that they're still sort of compatible. But I'm hoping we can get somewhere without using these top buttons. We're not going to be playing Street Fighter 2, that's for sure. Alright, so let's go and start. So the first thing we're going to have to do is, I'm just going to get a pile of these. They probably should be linked up, shouldn't they? These are actually two different makes of, this one's actually, you can see the bottom, so if you don't know what they look like that on the bottom. So this one's probably not the best one to be using, but I've already put everything on there, so we're just going to stick with it. It is actually still compatible. They still attach even though they're different sizes, so that's something. There's actually I didn't really realize the variety of these different ones. There's more than a couple. Like this one here has power rails that go all the way across, and this one has the split power rails. So that's strange. Well, if we're going to do that, we can probably we'll just copy them across. We'll do it from here. It's not going to reach, is it? Alright, I'll just use these ones. I can't really be bothered doing anything else. So that can go across. Probably, actually we'll do it on this side. Right. So hopefully this can be done in the 30 minutes that we have. I don't think so. I honestly don't think I'm going to get this done all in one go. Alright, and then we need to just, because this has a split rail, we will just do a messy linking up across there, and a messy linking up across there. Alright, and now we're going to do our first step, which is, so we'll ignore this for a second, and we'll just wire this thing up and connect it to these buttons. So the first thing we're going to need is to get out my book. I'm going to have to be careful, my arm is playing up again. I did too much typing last night, and it's making me a bit sad because I thought I was on the way out, and I am kind of with my RSI, which is why I haven't been doing a lot of videos. But it's feeling a bit worse today. So let's just have a look here. We're going to have 5 volts. So which way is it facing? It's facing the opposite way around. We'll just turn it around. I did that with my hands. How cool of me. Alright, so that can go there. I just want it to face the same way I can see it in the picture. So the little notch is over there. Oh, that's not helpful. The ground is over there. Well, we'll just link up the ground as well. Where's the wire of the right size? We'll just use this. Okay. So now we've got a pretty good setup. Look at all these wires going everywhere. Exciting. And then we need, we'll use a little tiny orange one. That's not going to work. We'll use that orange one. So this is the 5 volts going from the controller. Right, so that's all good. So we'll come along to wiring this up in a second. Let's do the input. So enable. Alright, so enable needs to be pulled to low in order for this to work. Why has it not got a little line above it? Okay, fine, whatever. Doesn't bother me. Okay, so that's that one done, and then we've got everything else. Select is over here on pin number 1, and we've got these things. So we will start. So looking at these, left and right. So I had planned that this is going to be up and down. So this is kind of for me, up, down, left, right, A, B, C, and we don't actually need. I kept thinking there was a select and a start button, but there's not. I kind of feel like I should have moved. Well, trust me that these are slightly differentiated. So these are the buttons, and these are the direction buttons, and this is the select button. So I'm actually going to do, because I can't be bothered, wait. So let's first work this out. I think we can just, so these are all going to get pulled to low. I don't think I'm going to have enough of these little small wires. We'll just make a mess. So in all circumstances, when you press the button, you're going to be pulling it to ground. And what am I using the giant green ones, yellow ones for? So we're going to need some pull-ups to pull some of these things. And I was kind of like, I guess there are pull-ups on the... So the thing is I'm worried about is like, well, I kind of want this controller to work on an Atari. So there's a problem with that 5-volt line. This is why there's problems when it's using these kind of controllers on other 8-bit computers and Amiga computers. But should be fine. So now we've got, this is my pulling down to ground thing. And then I'm just going to put, let's just use a whole bunch of wires. Actually, okay, that's the one that's coming from select. This is the, I don't think these wires are going to be long enough, are they? Alright, so what I've done there is the wrong way around. So these two are separate, so up and down just aren't, from what I can tell, up and down aren't connected at all to the 1547. They're just always connected just like a standard joystick. But left and right will go. And I'm a bit confused, to be honest, as to, like, it's such an elaborate scheme. Like, why did they not just... I guess they couldn't have, could they? Yeah. Alright. Well, when they went for a 6 button, they could have gone for a 5 button and just used these two outputs here. But then they could have also... maybe they couldn't have. Well, we'll find out. Alright, so I should probably make a note. So we're going to make this output, I'm going to use 1, 2, and I should have done this before, 3 and 4. Alright. So what I mean is there are 4 sets of these selector things, so I just marked down what they are. So we will just come back to those two. This is left and right. So we will start with left. Left is going to go into 1. It doesn't really matter which one they go into actually. It actually has no value at all. So right. So when select, so B. So the B one is when select is 1. So that's B. That's 4. That's 3B input, and this is 4B input. Okay, so just reading what I've got here, 4B input and 3B input, and the other one, so these ones are kind of easy because I'm just running out of nice wires to use. I'm not running out of nice wires, I've got a whole bunch of these things. So the A inputs, I'm going to go through and show a picture of what I'm looking at so that you can understand what I'm talking about. For these ones, they get pulled down to ground. So the alternative when select is 0 is okay. So looking here, we've got 4A, 4B, and out of 4. I'm going to just check before I go any further. Okay, so select is high, then B outputs provide the output. Alright, okay, cool, that should make sense. And so the output from those two, which we'll use here, is going to go over to here. We'll just do this now, right now. So left and right is pin 3 and 4, and that's going to be the yellow. I feel like I should have got the same colors. Let's get the same colors, and that will keep things a bit easier. So yellow and orange. Oh gosh, they're probably going to be the wrong. I'm going to have to play around with these things. So output from there, but we're not quite there yet because we're going to have some pull down resistors, pull up resistors, sorry. So pulling up, and I think we can actually do it over here. This is the easiest place. So that's going to be pulled up with these wonderful 10K resistors that I've got a whole pile of, with a nice old school, hard to, rigid legs. So they're going to go to there, and they're going to be pulled up by 10K resistors to high. And when I press the buttons, oh my goodness, maybe I should have put them on the other side. Probably should. Well, that's just going to sit there, so then I can at least touch them. Okay, so we'll move those over to the other side. I hope that's how these, but I always forget how these buttons work, but I'm pretty sure that they're connected up that way. So they connect across this way, so when you press the button down, both these sides get connected to these sides. I hope. Right, in fact we might as well put the pull ups on everything while we're here, because we're going to need those. If I was smart, I would have put everything on this side of the board and not right in front of my fingers where I'm going to be pressing when I actually have to use this. But it doesn't really matter that much, because I just care about making something that I can then use to test my joypad testers. So the next step is going to be building an actual tester of these kind of joysticks, joypads, which is going to be kind of fun, because I want to build it without using an Arduino in the end. I don't want to use a microcontroller, so it's got to have to take this sort of compressed multiplexed input and then turn it back out to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 LEDs. So I think we'll be able to do that. And I'm going to put pull-ups on these as well, even though those ones are just basically going straight through. So we're going to try this without using diodes. And the only reason I thought about using diodes is because, well, on a Atari joystick, for example, it's just that when you press the button, you make a connection to ground, and otherwise it's just left hanging, and then there'll be a pull-up on the actual computer that's pulling it up. And I wanted to do that kind of behavior. I wanted to have a diode in the way, so that basically it only sort of is being pulled down, but it is never pulled up. And that will be done by the computer. But in this case, we will be pulling it up, so this will be outputting high. But that should be fine, I think. But it will be fun to see if that actually works on a real computer or a real Sega thingy. Alright, so these ones, so I'm a bit concerned, why have I got 3 of these? Alright, of course I've got 3 of these. Okay, so the first one, so button A and button B, so these are button A and button B, so these purple ones here are going to go, I have to get my book out. We're getting there. I think we're going to finish this video, finish building it in one video, and then we'll do another video where we're actually going to test it. So here we go, 1A and 1B are what I'm going to use for button A and button B. They're just going to go straight into there. Or maybe I should do it on the other side. Yeah, I should. Okay, so those two go there. This one, I think I'm going to have to actually pay a bit more attention to what I'm doing. So button A is when select is 0. So that should actually go the other way around. So let's see if we can get this to work perfect the first time without having to adjust the wires. And then button C and start. So button C is going to go to exactly where it is. That's going to go to there, and we're pretty much done getting these things across. And then the outputs of these are going to go. So what is pin 9? What do I got pin 9 here? Pin 9 is the black wire, so I feel like I should use a black wire to match it up. Black wire is going to go to this output, and the other one, which is button A and B, is 6, and what have I got? 6 is currently the purple wire, so we'll get out a purple wire. I'm kind of ruining all these. So the purple wire can go, is that the same purple? Is it different? It's the same purple. Alright, and that one can go there, and that can be the output of that one. So that's pretty good. So I think we've wired all this up finished. We've still got 6 minutes, so now we just have to wire up the other remaining pins. So ground was pin 8, which is the grey one. So the grey one is going to go to, ooh, I almost broke that wire, to the ground over here. So I probably could have done that a bit neater. And then what have we done? So we've done this one, we've done this one. Select is 7. So we haven't done select, so we haven't finished this bit here. Select is 7, which is, no, that's 9. The purple one is 9. Oh, that's right. So select was 6, which is, oh, I've done something wrong here, haven't I? 8, 7 was the black one. 6. Okay, I think that's fine. So select is white. Okay. So the white one, it's getting a bit confusing now, is going to go, so watch pin is, oh my goodness. Select is pin 1. Okay, that's easy. So that goes across to there. So now we've wired that up. So we haven't wired up the 5 volts yet. So which one did I wire up the 5 volts? So that goes to pin number 5, which is the red wire. Well, that's nice, isn't it? Got that one right. So that one can go to there. I probably could use a small wire for this. That one can go there. And then the last 2 wires, which I'm just using these colors, I'm going to change these. So pin, I haven't done pin 4 and 3, have I? No, I have. Everything's wired up. So we haven't done up and down. Up and down are 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are the blue and the green. So I'm going to change these 2 to up and down. Keep them that way around for some reason. Oh no, I'm not. Okay, we'll try it here. I've got the feeling I'm going to have to rewire the whole of this. So, and these 2 can just line up with these 2 wires. So color coding can be fun sometimes and useful. One goes there, one goes there. Alright, so I'm going to bring that up, and that's what it looks like. Isn't that exciting? Oh my goodness, it's going all over the show. And there are my buttons, and this is this thing here. So, alright, well we're gonna leave it there, and then I'm gonna do another video. Just so that I make sure I have enough time. I don't want to rush the last bit. So that was the build. I think this is going to work. Like, I kind of think it's going to work. It might not. But let's find out in the next video. So thanks for watching, and bye.